It is time for a palate cleanser, aka a brain cleanser book. If a book has recently just destroyed your heart and soul to the point where you don't know if you can ever go on reading again, so you need to find something that will make you feel a little bit inside, but like you don't have to think, then go ahead and subscribe because that's what this book is all about. I'm going to be reading The Heartbreak Hotel by Ellen O. Clover. I do believe that this is the author's debut, which is exciting. It has very fall-like vibes, and honestly, I'm just trying to recover from this book right here. And I need a little cutesy romance to heal my heart and soul. So from my understanding, The Heartbreak Hotel basically follows along our main character. Her name? Well, let's find out. Louisa. Her name is Louisa. And so she seems to have it all. She has a degree in like psychology, I think. She has a very like sunny kind of view on life. She has a really nice wealthy boyfriend, like all this good stuff. Her life seems to be going really well until she gets broken up with. And now she can't afford to pay rent. She doesn't really know what to do. She ends up somehow convincing, I think, like, I don't know if it's her landlord. I think it is, though. She convinces her landlord to basically open up a bed and breakfast. And her landlord actually turns out to be very attractive. And so he reluctantly agrees because, you know, gonna get more money out of it. And she doesn't have anything else to do. Like, she needs somewhere to live. So she kind of gives herself a job at this point. I mean, the market is awful, so it doesn't matter if you have a degree or not. And so she kind of opens up the hotel and she starts to market it as the Heartbreak Hotel, where people who are recently heartbroken will have a really good time. And the landlord or like the owner or whatever is like, I don't like that. I don't like that. But it starts to bring in like people and they're like, okay, it's kind of working. And so it's going to be these two characters in this kind of like forced proximity kind of vibe. I don't know how I feel about a landlord romance because I have a bone to pick with landlords, but you know, let's not talk about that. But yeah, I expect this book to be cozy. I expect it to be funny, entertaining, and just have like a fun little romance. And that's exactly what I need to basically cure my heart and soul, because I want to read Alchemized, which is another gigantic book that is also incredibly heartbreaking from what I've heard. So I can't read that right after I read Primal Blood and Bone. I'm just gonna be too sad. So we need something cute, and this looks like the perfect candidate for that. So without further ado, let's crack this book right open. Oh, but wait! We know the drill. This has a dust cover that needs to come off before I can read the book. So I'm going to guess that the book is gonna be orange with a yellow spine, and it's gonna have that little Book of the Month stamp on it. I think I got this book in September, so I think it will say September on it. So open it up, see if I am right. Ooh, the page feels like very nice quality. Oh, I see yellow. Yellow and blue. It's kind of giving like SpongeBob vibes. I don't think I like the blue that much, but yeah, it really is giving SpongeBob. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'm the biggest fan of the blue. It just feels too summertime, too cheery, whereas this feels like it's more of like a fall kind of vibe. So I think the colors are a bit too bright, but it's all good. We will read this book and hopefully enjoy it. So let's do this. So I'm about 100 pages into The Heartbreak Hotel, and here are my thoughts so far. This book is exactly what I am looking for in this type of brain cleanser, cozy, fall time kind of read. It's has a really fun setting. It doesn't take itself too seriously. There have been moments where I've like laughed out loud, like with the kitchen apple. That I absolutely loved that. So we're following along our main character, Louisa, aka Lou, as everything around her is just kind of falling apart. Like, she has kind of been very dependent on this boyfriend of hers that she's been with for like 6 years. He's very famous, like he wrote a song about her, he's in a band, and she ends up catching him cheating on her, and so she's like, okay, obviously it's over. I'm gonna keep the house. But it turns out they're actually renting the house, and he's not really ever in the house because he's always on tour, and so it's pretty much her house anyway. But something that Louisa we kind of learn about her is that she has become a bit dependent on this guy. So she doesn't have a job. She ended up failing her licensing exams, like to become a therapist, like all of this stuff. And so now that she isn't with him, she can't afford to live in this house, but she doesn't want to leave. She loves this house. She loves the neighborhood, and her childhood was full of a lot of like her sister and her mom going place to place to place to place to place to place all the time, and she's never really like settled or found a place that she calls her own until this place. And so with that in mind, she ends up basically going to the landlord and proposing, hey, let's turn this house into a bed and breakfast that I will run. You don't have to pay me, just let me stay there, run it, and that'll be a good deal. And I think he kind of feels bad for her, like, because like she does cry when she's trying to explain this, which honestly is so relatable. Like there have been so many times where I'm like trying to be serious about something and there's just like the tears. Like just some people are like that. I'm like that. Louisa's like that. And so he's like, okay, let's do a trial period, 6 months. And so it's very nice of him to do. And so she ends up running this hotel now. And the thing though is that like she's not fully licensed yet as a therapist, so she can't really like, you know, promote it as, hey, I'm certified, like we can do some therapy. But she markets it as like a Heartbreak Hotel kind of thing, where you've gone through heartbreaks. This is the place where you can stay, and if you want to talk to somebody about it, like Louisa's there to talk to you about it. But again, like you're not paying her. She's not a certified therapist, so like none of the legality issues of that, which I feel like there might be some issues. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But it's definitely really fun, and I really like stuff happens and the landlord has to show up and fix a sink and fix the electricity, and she's just like always in like the most embarrassing kind of situations, and this guy's always coming in and like having to fix stuff, and she's like, what's going on? And then like he's like also hot, like all of the stuff. He's a vet. Like how can you say no to a man who's just so gentle and kind with like dogs and cats and birds and bunnies and all the other types of animals in the world? So yeah, it's fun, it's lighthearted, and I'm having a good time with it. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. So I'm going to continue to read this book, and I will update you around the halfway mark. So I will see you then. So I'm definitely more than halfway through the Heartbreak Hotel, and I'm still really enjoying this book. It's cozy, it's fun, it's got some nice moments between the characters, and just a good time. I like that this is a slow burn, and I like that when the characters, you know, finally start to do some stuff, you're just like, it's pretty good, you know? Like, it's fun. And then the other interaction with the characters and their backgrounds and how everybody has heartbreak, and heartbreak happens in different ways and you can handle it in different ways. I think it's just like a really great message, and like how to handle grief, and that there's nothing wrong with you if you are handling it differently than somebody else. And I think it's a very valid message throughout the entire book, and the way that the character handles it and her own heartbreak and like trying to move on from the heartbreak and other characters, I really like it. In a way, you're kind of getting a bit of a found family aspect, where it's like all these characters come to the hotel, well, like the B&B, and Lou's around there and she interacts with them. She has like nice one-on-one moments with them. They go out and get ice cream, like she does the hikes and stuff. So there's a lot of really just like nice characters, and it's like, I say kind of found family because it's not like they're always there, like new people come in and out throughout the hotel, but you still get that like cozy, warm hug vibe where like everybody's just kind of, you know, finding each other, and it's cute. And I think that's what I really am enjoying in this book, just like that warm, cozy, fall time kind of feeling, and then like all the interactions with her and the landlord Henry, and just like, yeah, it's well done. I'm really like, I'm like, ooh, this is good stuff. But it's not like the best book ever. Like, it's, I'm not gonna spoil the rating or anything yet because I haven't finished it, but it's definitely not a 5-star. But it's still a good book, and it's entertaining and it's fun and it's doing exactly what I want it to do. So I'm having a good time, and I'm excited to see where the book goes and how it's going to end. So yeah, I'm gonna continue to read this book, and I'll update you when I finish it with my final thoughts and what I'm going to rate the book. So I finished the Heartbreak Hotel, and this book was exactly what I wanted it to be, as I'm sure I've already said like 7,000 times, but like, it is what it is. And it did surprisingly have like deep moments, which you would think at this point it wouldn't be surprising to me because I read so many like rom-coms and literary fictions, and they're always like that, where it's like a cute cozy plot with some like deep meaning inside of it. And this one was all about grief and how grief comes in different forms. It's not always just the loss of a person that can cause you grief. There are other ways of experiencing grief as well, and this book had it a lot in the terms of like heartbreak. So there was one character who was a widow, so that was her heartbreak, but there were other characters who had broken up with the person they thought was going to be their forever person. And I like that the book didn't minimize that. In fact, it kind of highlighted that going through a breakup is a horrible time and nobody has a great time. It is very similar to grieving the loss of a person who passes away. Like, you are no longer having that person in your life, and like all that love is just gone. And I thought that was a really interesting way of looking at grief, and I really liked that, and I thought the romance between these two was really cute, and I like just some of the situations the characters got in was just really funny. And the character has such a great friend group as well. There aren't really any surprises in this book. The like main plot twist is very predictable, but doesn't downgrade or make the book bad in any way. This is just a fun, cozy little romance with some nice moments. I would say that it's not very spicy. There are spicy scenes, but they're pretty tame, especially as like, it doesn't go too into detail. It is a bit of fade to black, so if you're not the biggest fan of spice but you like romance, like there's like a little bit of it, but not enough that I think that maybe you'd be like uncomfortable or anything like that. So today we are going to be awarding the Heartbreak Hotel a total of 3.5 stars. I like this one. I thought that it was well written. I liked how the story was really a slow burn throughout months and months and months of time. I like the messaging about different ways of grief, and that there's no incorrect way to grieve a person, be it if they've passed away or if you've broken up with somebody. I loved the kind of ending that the book had, where it was like that. I'm not gonna say what that is, but like that. I thought that was really funny and kind of like a clever take on such a common kind of event in rom-coms, that I really enjoyed that. I thought the romance was really cute, and I love that just like the scenes they had together. They had those small moments, they had big moments, they had funny moments, they had all of the different moments that just makes you want to root for these two leads to end up together. And it cleansed my brain. My brain now feels happy and clean, and it's like if I took a toothbrush to it. Like, it's a good time. I enjoyed this book. I think that it's definitely a good one for like fall time, because it mainly takes place during fall, but it also takes place during winter. So it's really good for this time of the year, and it's cozy. It's like found family, hotel vibes, and a character who is very likable and just gives and loves so hard, and the relationships that she has with people and the struggles that she has by being somebody who's so loving. And yeah, it was pretty cute. I definitely recommend it if you would like to read it. It won't blow your mind, won't be the best thing you've ever read, but like, it's a good one. It's cute, it's cozy. So the next book that I'm gonna be reading is Alchemized by Sen-Lin Yu. I have not heard anything bad about this book. It has been on my like highly anticipated list, and it came out recently, so it's gonna be a really good time. I'm really excited. I expect it to be, you know, kind of dark and fall time and magical and all that good stuff. So this is what I'm gonna read next. So if you're interested in watching me read Alchemized or any other book that happens to be on my Never Ending TBR, or really anything related to books, if you like books and you like hearing about books and what's happening in the book world, go ahead and subscribe, because that's what my channel is all about. And with that, I'm going to wish you warm wishes and fish kisses, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!